I'm in danger. Apparently, according to Voltage, who is the one that requested this, and the executive producer's guaranteed queue wants me to get to RoughSketch's Mayhem, the full version. Apparently, this song, quote Voltage, one might recommend meditation for 5 minutes before getting into it. So I don't know what the hell that means. I'm sure Voltage knows that I don't tend to like take a bunch of changes too well. It's not that I think it's a bad thing, it just can be a little overstimulating for the tism sometimes. So at least I have that heads up. I have no clue. I've heard RoughSketch before, but apparently this is RoughSketch Extreme Edition. So this is going to be very interesting to experience, I suppose, and I guess I better get into it. So without further ado, let's go! I still love this little mascot character he has. So far, it's surprisingly tame. And I know that that's a misnomer. I'm not lowering my guard even a little bit.
Faster. Please pass.
Oh, would you look at that? A teaser of what's to come. Ooh, I love that detuning effect there. That pitch bend all the way down. Well, this isn't too bad so far, but the song is young. I love those little buzzes. It's always kind of ridiculous, but it kind of becomes its own sample at that point. No longer a kick, it's more of a synth at that level. The complete removal of anything in the low end. There's a little bit of like a low, like kind of a move in there. That was neat. A shift up. Shift back down. Oh. The vocals were unexpected, that's for sure. Guitar solo. Hell yeah. This is fun. This is really fun, actually. Woo, triplets in there. Cheeky. It's doing a really good job at like controlling everything, just like the last song I heard from RoughSketch. It's like, it's hectic, but not like nonsense. And that's the good shit. Okay, we're taking a little bit of a step back here. This might be the outro. Yep, okay. Oh, nope. RoughSketch. You got me. It's like the Nosferatu. Nosferatu. So I was actually expecting it to be worse. And by that, I just mean more noise and less melodic sense going on, you know? Because when I'm warned about something like this, I expect it to be complete gibberish, bullshit, nonsense. Because I think at this point, I might just be desensitized to what the genre has to offer. And I'm more aware of it now. Like, since the last time I heard RoughSketch's stuff, I've heard a lot more in this kind of flavor of music. And I'm learning the ins and outs of what makes something good, bad, the effects of it, like general sound design choices. It's a completely different experience now, which is cool because that means I get to actually like give something of an opinion, unlike last time, which I was like, it's nonsense, and that's all I had. For this one, a lot of what I liked was, again, straight up the control of it all. Last time, RoughSketch definitely had that control, but for this one, he went further. So again, I do understand why I was warned about this one, because it is more chaotic than the last one, but also the control is still there, and surprisingly, really tight control, especially that one part where like completely removed everything else and kind of stayed on that one kick at the top and kind of let that be the bulk of the sound there. Like the design all went away aside from just having that kick there. There was a little bit of like a punch to the high end just to make that a little bit more snappy, but that's really it. Like that's all it was there. And that was kind of interesting just as a decision in the writing to be like, you know what, I'm going to do nothing and just get rid of everything else. You don't need it, you know, make an entire section of something as stripped down as you can get basically. So that was a really cool decision. But then of course the overall melody was pretty sick too. Like I was really liking what the lead was doing. It was very well controlled again. There wasn't just nonsense notes being thrown around. It wasn't just nothing but up and down scales, arpeggiating crap that really doesn't lead anywhere. This had a consistent melody. It was a consistent story being told in this song, and that's always respectable, especially when the vocals came in. I was very impressed at how well those were handled. You did kind of lose them a little bit under some other samples a little further into that, but the fact that we were introduced to them and they were able to have their time in the limelight before getting rid of them and kind of focusing on other parts of the song. I'm not saying that them getting overwritten like that was necessarily a bad thing. You have to make room, and I'm glad that RoughSketch made that room. Sure, they were still in there, and sure, you could barely kind of hear them at that one point, but that's because there was a whole different thing going on at that time. There was a whole different sound that was supposed to be at the forefront, so they got rid of the vocals and made sure that they were ducked behind it. So that's just good sound design. That's being aware of the space around the song and knowing when and what to do when something else needs to have that limelight. Don't keep everything at 100%. Pan things out, move them out of the way, even if it's just a pan and you don't even like move them in the vertical space. You have to at least pan them outward, you know, like you don't have to make them quieter, just get them out of the center channel. If you want something to be the focus of the song, make sure that it's in the center, the focal point of your ears. But again, I also understand why I was warned about this, because it did have a lot of the stuff that I used to be a little bit more shaky on, like the turning a kick into a single sample, which to me at this point, as somebody who's evolved a little bit since listening to more of this music, I understand why that's done. I understand the fun of it and kind of the general utility of having that, because like I said in the reaction, it is kind of its own sample at that point. You're not just throwing in a bunch of kicks because you don't know what else to do. You're creating a different sound out of that. It changes from something to another. You're taking something and making it into something else. It's just what you do. It's basically alchemy. You know, you're just transitioning something, borrowing an essence of a piece of it and turning it into a completely different sound that you can utilize as a different part of the song. It's not a kick anymore. It is now like a synth. It's now a sample that is supposed to be fast. It's part of another bit of sound design off to the side. The kicks are still there. They're not gone, but at the same time, they're changing it into something that's a little bit more melodic even. So it just kind of evolves with the song and whatever the song wants to do. It's moving it up or out of the way. It's getting it into a different position in the band effectively. It's like moving a rhythm rhythm guitarist to a lead guitar for just a moment, you know, because sometimes the rhythm guitar needs to hold over on the lead guitar while the lead guitarist is doing a solo, you know, like there's a bunch of balancing acts to do in music. So having something like that change totally makes sense to me now, and I really appreciate it actually. But I also do think that's about all I can say that wouldn't just be repeating what I said in my last rough sketch video. So if you want to hear all that, feel free to go check that out, but I'm going to end it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you, Voltage, for putting this into the executive producer queue. If you have something else you want me to get to from RoughSketch or any other person, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something like Voltage did for this one, you can go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want. It doesn't matter who it's by, what it's from, if it's good, bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. If you don't want to do any of that though, and you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!